Hello and welcome to the wrap-up on UCFM, bringing you the latest from the UC community each week. I'm your host, Ben, and I'm joined by AJ.
Hey.
Hello. I mean, how's your week been going?
It's been busy. This week has definitely been busy.
My week, this is probably one of the busiest weeks I've had this semester.
You've been doing a lot of interviews, haven't you?
Yes.
And we got a lot more today, don't we?
We do. Well, on today's show, we'll be chatting with midwifery honours student Alix Dornbusch about her research and finding out more about the UC Chinese Student Association in our weekly Student Society Spotlight. We'll also have the latest UC news and a weekly events guide.
Exactly. But before we get into it, just a reminder to follow our socials at UCFM_87.8 to keep up to date with everything happening and join in on the conversation. Send us a message during the show today on our text line 0415 774 405.
And if you're not already, you can listen to UCFM wherever you are on the iHeartRadio app. Shall we wrap things up? Now, to start this week's show, we're joined by Alix Dornbusch. Just to start us off, Alix, tell us a little bit about your research focus.
Wonderful. Well, it's lovely to be here today, and thanks for asking me to come along. As you mentioned earlier, I am an honours midwifery student, and I've chosen to look particularly on midwifery culture in the ACT hospitals and how the midwifery culture differs between individuals based on particular demographic questions. So that's things like their mode of study, so the way that they qualified as midwives, as well as some other ones such as just their age, their family situation, and other things.
Yeah, and I hear the 2020 lockdowns may have affected your decision to pursue midwifery. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my decision to pursue midwifery definitely took place in 2020. While you might not be able to hear it in my voice, you can definitely see that I am not a 20-something-year-old student. I am 40 years old, and the lockdowns affected me, as did a lot of other parents. I was at home homeschooling my primary school age children at the time. I was lucky enough to be in a fortunate position where my partner didn't have to stop work, so I was able to just stay at home with the kids. This gave me a lot of time for reflection, to think about where I can best use my skills when I decide to return to the workforce after being a stay-at-home mum for a little while. And I thought, why not throw my hat in the ring and try midwifery? I've always wanted to study it. I was a real nerdy kid at school and actually enjoyed sex ed for the content, which is a strange thing to say, but looking back on it now, the writing was on the wall from day one. And then, once the lockdown ceased, I just sort of got online and was looking around at different options and realised that you could actually become a midwife directly. Being an older person, I thought that you had to study nursing first, and when I discovered that you didn't, that was the decision for me.
I mean, I let me tell you, I didn't know that either, so that's very exciting. But I mean, having entered the workforce at Canberra Hospital and then starting your research, how has your perspective on midwifery changed from student to practitioner and I guess now to a researcher?
Yeah, so it's been a juggle, trying to juggle my graduate year of midwifery at the same time as still studying. I think that what I didn't anticipate entering the workforce was just the pressure on you as a practitioner. Your registration, while it's not constantly on the line, I don't want to feel like, you're constantly having to defend your actions or anything. It is always there in the back of your mind. Am I doing the right thing? Am I following the rules? That sort of thing. And on the top of that, midwifery is a very women-centred, it is women-centred. It's the most women-centred that you can get. We're there to provide quality care for women in their most vulnerable times. So I think it is like a balancing act between those two. When comparing that to my studies, I find having a very midwifery or midwife-focused study role. So I'm not focusing on women's outcomes, I'm focusing on the feelings of fellow midwives. Means that when there is a little bit of cross-table chatter happening at the staff tea rooms and things happening, my ears do tend to perk up a bit, and I'm well known for asking a few probing questions. Just the other day I found out one of my colleagues is going to leave the field, and as soon as I found that out, I sort of went and found her and was like, so what's brought on this choice? Yeah,
I mean, speaking about that, what workplace culture issues would you say keep midwives employed in midwifery or maybe push them away?
Yeah. So part of my honours, I had to do a pretty extensive literature review. And I guess I sort of knew what the outcomes were prior to it, but it definitely, just reiterated them. There were sort of 6 main fields. One was the obvious burnout that midwives get. There was the workplace culture. So that's just bullying, poor shift entitlements, lack of support for managers, that sort of thing. The limitations on the scope of practice. So obviously in a public hospital, we work alongside obstetricians, physios, other fields. And within the midwifery field, there is a feeling that sometimes we're not able to flex our muscles fully in the public system. There's also the snowballing of, as midwives are leaving the field, it's stretching those that remain even further. So the more that these problems sort of come into play, the more effect they're having. There's also the lack of career progression. There was certain people, and I have to say that I haven't seen this personally myself, but it definitely popped up in the literature review, which was probably the most surprising finding, was that people were saying that there was a lack of career progression. They either weren't able to go forth in the way that they wanted to, or they weren't able to become academics and practitioners at the same time. And this was, of course, exacerbated in rural and regional areas, as well as Indigenous midwives and early career midwives. So as a graduate midwife, I'm actually at high risk of burnout and leaving the profession.
Yeah, and so speaking about the more positive aspects of midwifery, what would you say a positive workplace culture looks like in a midwifery setting? I mean, I'm sure that hospitals are very demanding, so what would a positive environment look like to you?
Yeah, so don't get me wrong, I don't think that the midwifery culture in the ACT is poor by any means. What I'm trying to do is find out where the individuals are that are at risk of leaving and what their reasons are to provide more support. I guess in terms of a positive culture, we'd be looking at flexibility. So that's, obviously having a female-dominated workforce. We often will take maternity leave, have school-aged children, and the shifts that we have to do aren't always overly conducive to family life, as well as having good support, a coherent team and a respectful team as well. They're just things that you'd really want to see in any workplace. And again, I just want to reiterate, I'm not saying that they don't exist within the ACT public systems, but yeah, it would be, I'm looking forward to hopefully hearing that they do exist.
Yeah. And how feasible do you think it is to implement these elements into a culture where it maybe doesn't exist?
I think it's possible. As I said, I personally haven't seen, I've seen aspects of it, but not to the point where I think that it's impacting the culture personally. I think that it is incredibly important, and I think that you can do so by simply increasing the workforce, to be perfectly honest. It just seems to be that there's a shortage of midwives, and as a result, those midwives that are there are having to pick up the slack. We've got a very junior workforce, and there's just not enough of us to go around.
Yeah, and looking forward maybe 5 to 10 years, what do you hope changes, maybe with your research even, in the whole culture and profession?
Yeah, so the Midwifery Futures report came out last year. That was by Carolyn Homer. She has basically said that it's a career a field that's in crisis mode. We just don't have the practitioners that are coming through, nor the students to replace those that are leaving, which is scary. But also, I don't think we're at the point of no return yet. So trying to find where those shortcomings are. We've also had the Maternity in Focus report from the ACT government that's specified that they want more women going through continuity models of care for pregnancy and birth. Not quite sure how that looks, whether that's an individual practitioner or a midwifery group practice model, but I think we definitely need more focus into the continuity models, encouraging experienced midwives to come into those models, as well as support newer practitioners in coming in, both internally within the hospital format and externally from the government. There's also been a few studies in the UK and the NHS with a specific role called a retention midwife, which enters into the workforce in an area that has been identified as being at high risk of having midwives leave. And their role is basically to be a counsellor, to encourage group activities and basically improve morale within the unit. And they've had some really good big impacts in there. Whether or not we've got the staff here to be able to justify having a role for that, I don't know, but it would be good to see some of those things come through.
And what might you say to young students somewhere in Australia who's thinking about maybe being a midwife?
Yeah. Look, if you've got that calling, then I would say do it. If you've got the itch and you think that you would be good at it, I'd say go for it. It's an incredible gift to support a woman in that time of her life. I mean, yeah, I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about the beautiful births that I have attended, and even the ones that aren't so beautiful, being able to provide a solid grounding for that woman to lean on at that time is incredible. So yeah, I would say do it. It's hard. It's really hard, but if you want to do it, you never regret it.
Rewarding, yeah. I mean, thank you so much for joining us on the wrap up.
No problems. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's now time for the UC News Wrap. First up, some event highlights from around UC. Tomorrow is the SRC's AI conference, themed from campus to career. It explores how students and professionals can integrate AI into their work. Also on the horizon is RoboCop, with UC as a major event sponsor. It's a robotics competition engaging students and tech enthusiasts, which is very exciting.
I have heard about RoboCop before.
I haven't. I love the name.
I think RoboCop, like some people in my college and high school participated, which is really cool. Yeah. But in other news, a UC study is investigating if white noise could be a non-invasive aid for those with declining vision. This is kind of cool. Yeah. Researchers at the University of Canberra are exploring whether white noise could help people with declining vision, particularly from conditions like macular degeneration. The study is based on, how do you pronounce that? Stochastic resonance. Whoa. A phenomenon where adding noise can actually improve sensory perception. Early results suggest that controlled white noise might enhance visual clarity in some settings. The team is now testing different environments and types of vision loss to see where the method works best. And if successful, it could offer a low-cost, non-invasive tool to support people with permanent vision impairment.
Very
which,
exciting.
Honestly, with the way that my eyes are going, probably need to invest.
Well, in other news, UC research reveals 3 to 5 years wait time for critical dementia diagnosis. A new study from the University of Canberra's Centre for Aging Research and Translation, also known as CARET, has found significant delays in obtaining a dementia diagnosis. On average, people with Alzheimer's receive a diagnosis about 3 to 5 years after first reporting symptoms. For some less common types, such as behavioral variant frontotemporal dementia, BVFTD, the time for diagnosis extends to 4 to 5 years.
Wow.
Interestingly, the delay is longer for men with BVFTD.
Bit of an acronym, hey.
Who on average wait about 5 years, compared to somewhat shorter times for women. The researchers caution that such delays are problematic. Early diagnosis is crucial for accessing care, planning, and potential inclusion in treatment trials. To dig deeper into the causes of these delays, the team is launching a national Living with Dementia survey to track the lived experiences of people with dementia over their careers. It will examine and their carers, not over their careers. It will examine, so if you're a carer, this is for you as well.
This is for you.
It will examine how health systems, symptom recognition, and social factors interact with delays in diagnosis.
Yes, very interesting. Alzheimer's, very important thing to look out for. It's also World Heart Day, but for UC's Active Heart Research Group, preventing heart disease is a year-round job. Which is very true. Yes. On World Heart Day, UC's Active Heart Research Group emphasises that preventing cardiovascular disease isn't just a one-day campaign, it's a year-round mission. The researchers are focused on how to improve physical activity messaging for people living with heart disease, and they note that general advice like to do moderate activity, which I believe moderate activity meaning like exercise, is often too vague, and many patients struggle to interpret what that means in their daily lives, such as me just then. One of their key projects is Measure It, a trial that incorporated brief 5-minute check-ins between clinicians and patients, along with wearable devices to track activity. Early findings show that regular check-ins help motivation and accountability, which is very true, I agree, and that the approach is feasible in clinical settings. The team now aims to develop a scalable, low-cost intervention model that could be rolled out across cardiac rehabilitation programs nationally. And in the meantime, they encourage all Australians to consider their heart health daily, not just on awareness days, and to make small but sustained changes in physical activity.
And UC exercise physiologists share research for improving cancer care. UC exercise physiologists are exploring how combining physical activity with cognitive tasks like cycling while doing memory games can support cancer patients both mentally and physically. Their early findings show the approach is engaging and effective, helping improve mental health, strength, and overall well-being during treatment. They're also studying resistance training and tailored exercise plans during chemotherapy to reduce fatigue and anxiety.
Cool.
However, the team highlights a need for better clinical guidance and support, as many patients are told to stay active but aren't given clear instructions, just like the cardiac people. The goal is to make exercise a standard part of cancer care, and that's the latest news from around campus. And now it's time to chat with one of UC's student clubs and societies. This week we're joined by Ricky and Fiona from the UC Chinese Student Association. Thanks for coming into the studio.
Thank you for having us.
Yay.
So just to start off, tell us a little bit about what your club does.
As UC Chinese Student Society, we organize events and also provide support to students, like international students from China, and also we kind of as a building a bridge between international students and local students to have this opportunity to communicate and also maybe remove some stereotypes and biases between the culture differences.
And how did you guys get involved yourselves?
So what we do is start planning events from the end of the year for the next year. And what we're going to do is for each semester we'll have some welcome parties. It's for international students, Chinese international students, but also it's welcome to everyone. So we're going to share our culture, share our food, and gather together, and just have a bit of chat. Yeah.
And how did you get involved in the club? What made you join it originally?
So I think helping people, and then because I know how hard it is to be in a first year student and then no idea of what's happening in it's a completely different cultures and countries. And then what I would want to do is, because I know how struggle I was, so I want to be part of it to help new students. Yeah.
And are you guys open to all UC students or just Chinese students?
Not specifically to Chinese students. They are local students or students from other countries who like to talk with us, and we're open to any students as long as they want to join us. So give a chat. Yeah.
It's very exciting. Yeah. So currently, how regular are your events? What events are you running? What's your next event, I guess?
Our next event probably would be the end of semester event, and we kind of already organized quite a couple, more than 10 events for this semester already. Let's start with the welcome party for semester 2, and then alongside this semester we got some other events, every market day we will be there as well. And also, we had some barbecue events outside Unique campus. I think it's at the
near the lake.
Yeah.
And then we
Genitalia
also participated in the open day, just a week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how have you found the response from other UC students? Is there many people joining your club?
I think the numbers of the members this year, it's around 30 to 40.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and then we're planning to do more discounts and stuff, and then more event next year for sure. So we want to get more students to be in our club as well.
And anyone who's listening who's interested in joining, how can they find out more?
We have our Instagram account, and if you search on Instagram or Facebook for UCCSSA, CSSA. We're about to change the name though, but it should come up with this name. You'll be able to find us, and we post events on those platforms. And also for Chinese students, we use WeChat, and there's some posts or events for that as well. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, let's take a look at the upcoming events on campus. Student Experience Awards 2025 are coming up, so get ready to celebrate UC's most inspiring students at the Student Experience Awards 2025, happening on Friday the 3rd of October from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Anne Harding Conference Centre. This exclusive night recognises club leaders, student mentors, and committee members who've made campus life unforgettable. Enjoy a sit-down dinner, live entertainment, and complimentary drink on arrival. It's a night for UC's finest student changemakers to shine.
That just sounds amazing.
It does.
I know a couple students who need a Student Experience Award, so...
Are you talking about yourself, Ben?
I didn't say that. If you'd like to nominate me next year, though, I wouldn't complain.
I will definitely put that down.
And the UC Sport Daily Social is happening, this time with volleyball. Need a break between lectures? Join the UC Sport Daily Social Volleyball sessions running every Monday from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. at the UC Sports Hall in Building 4. It's a casual drop-in style game, no commitment, no teams, just a great way to great way to stay active and meet new people on campus. Bring your mates or make some new ones at the court.
Dude, I gotta play. I'm a bit too short for volleyball, to be honest.
You know what I want to do? I want to do badminton. They do badminton, but
They do.
They do. But
They
volleyball
do.
does sound amazing too.
Volleyball does sound amazing. And you know what else sounds amazing?
What?
Stone Week Scav Hunt 2025. I want to do this.
Yes.
Unleash your inner detective with the Stone Week Scavenger Hunt, launching on the 7th of October at 9 a.m. and running right through to Friday the 10th of October at 11:55 p.m. It all starts at the UC Refectory, where you and your team will set off to complete wild challenges and solve clever clues around campus and beyond, and win a $1,000 prize on the line. It has got a $1,000 prize on the line, which is
Wow.
crazy.
Yes.
So guys, get creative, competitive, and maybe a bit chaotic.
With $1,000 on the line, I feel like I have to do it, right?
And guess what? We are.
Well, maybe everyone listening shouldn't do it so we can win.
Oh yeah, guys,
But,
don't.
Anyway, get involved.
Get involved or don't.
And if your kids are basketball lovers aged 6 to 16, don't miss the UC Capital's holiday camps, kicking off Tuesday the 7th of October from 1 to 4 p.m. at the UC Sports Hall. The fun continues across the week with additional sessions on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Led by real UC Caps players and coaches, these camps offer skills, drills, games, and even a free ticket to win to a WNBL home game.
And they are kosher.
Yes.
And koshers. No, I want to go to a WNBL game.
Yeah. I do love
basketball.
basketball's amazing.
You'd be really good at it, Ben.
People just say that because I'm tall. Probably not though.
And
But
that is
anyway.
true. Anyway, UC Bar X Trivia Night is also happening, so test your knowledge and battle for bar tab glory, at Trivia Night, and that happens every Tuesday from 5:30 to 7:30 at the UC Bar. With 40 unique questions and a different theme each week, it's your weekly chance to win prizes, including an $80 bar tab and $250 semester champion title. So grab your team, brush up on your random facts, and get ready for some trivia fun.
And that's what's happening around UC. Make sure to check out the UC events pages and UC socials for more info on these events and to find out what else is happening around campus. And unfortunately, that's all we have time for today, but thank you for joining us on the wrap-up.
There's always something happening around campus, so make sure you keep an eye out on the socials and the student bulletin.
And you can listen to this episode of The Wrap Up and past episodes on our website, ucfm.com.au, or find the podcast version wherever you get your podcasts.
Exactly. And don't forget, guys, to follow our socials at UCFM_87.8.
And we'll be back again next week to keep you up to date with what's been happening around campus. But until then,
That's a wrap.